This is Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. I've got a special relationship with this franchise because Samurai Jack The Shadow of Aku was the first game I ever worked on back at the beginning of my career. I wouldn't go back and check that game out. It was for the original, I think it was on the original Xbox, the PlayStation 2, and the GameCube. Might not have even come out on the Xbox in the end. I don't even remember for sure. But that was my very first game I ever worked on, and I was actually the only designer on it for a while, which was a terrible idea. I was brand new to the industry. I had no idea what I was doing. They originally planned to just have me be a sort of a novice level designer on the project, and they were going to bring in somebody with much more experience to be the lead designer. And then they just kept not bringing that other person in, and I kept having to make all of these very important decisions that I was not qualified to make at all. I had very little experience in the genre. I had kind of no idea what I was doing. So Samurai Jack The Shadow of Aku didn't turn out that well. So now I'm kind of curious about, coming back to this new entry in the Samurai Jack franchise to see what this team did. I'm sure it's much better than what I did 17 years ago when I first worked on the franchise. But let's go and find out. So let's see here. So I can go Jack, easy, Samurai, normal, Master Samurai, or, there's an unlockable difficulty level that I can't even access right now. Let's go with normal difficulty. Ew. So, I haven't actually watched the recent episodes. I'm not sure what's going on right now in the story. I thought that was Aku for a minute, but,
Is he dead?
No, and he never will be.
How dare you talk back to your father?
No, you're not my father.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
What?
Ashi, you have Aku's powers.
I do!
Oh no.
Art style change. Rendering 2D characters in 3D is always a challenge. We went through a lot of headaches on Shadow of Aku.
Jack! Jack!
This place. Aku's mines. I'm back in the past. But not where I should be. Ashi. Ashi!
Help! Help! I say, help!
Rothschild. But I saved you in the future. Aku. I must put an end to this madness.
Okay, so if you have not watched any Samurai Jack, all of that was probably extremely confusing. The basic setup for Samurai Jack is he is a samurai warrior from the past. He's fighting an evil wizard named Aku. He's a shapeshifter. And he failed to kill him in the past, and he got shot into the future, where Aku has already taken over the world and has ruled it for thousands of years. And so the story of the cartoon is him fight this ancient samurai fighting through this futuristic landscape, battling robots created by this sorcerer. I haven't followed the story up to the most recent episodes, and so I'm not sure what's happened. Apparently, Aku has a daughter who joins Jack's side, so that's really cool. Anyway, it looks like I've been sent back to the past, or some version of the past, and now I've got to probably fight some monsters. Wow. So, most of Aku's minions are robots that look like bugs. That's pretty standard. That particular guy, though, weirdly reminds me of the bugs from the game that I worked on. And that's kind of strange. One thing that I definitely want to try to do if I can I invert the camera? I don't think I can invert the camera unless... Oh, wait. Settings. Here we go. Controls. Camera. There we go. Okay, cool. I was worried that because this is I'm playing this game on mobile, and so I'm assuming that maybe less attention went into the controller implementation, but no, looks like, yep, it's pretty friendly to my Xbox controller. Gave me look inversion, it's got all the right button prompts, so I gotta collect some coins. Oh, hey, Chumfugler, thanks for joining me. Wow, even cutting them in half. Oh, this is weirdly similar to the game I worked on. It's definitely much snappier, though. Like, the animations feel pretty good. Oh! I did not intentionally dodge like that. Okay, unlocking skills. Upgrade abilities from the skills tab in the pause menu using Skill Fire. Okay, Skill Fire is definitely a good name for things. Ki attack. When the Ki attack gauge is full, press those buttons together to deliver a powerful Ki attack. Okay, so this is a pretty common thing in tutorials for games like this. You set it up so that one of the most basic features of the game is an unlockable skill, and then you have the player unlock the skill as one of their first options, and then immediately get the thing. You never actually intended for this ability to be like something the player would have gated access to. Ooh, Dhamma. What's Dhamma? It's an otherworldly essence that grants benefits in combat. It restores health and increases strength of attacks, and it fortifies defense temporarily. Okay, so I've got a thing. That's cool. And now it looks like the wall around the arena. Oh, Skill Fire. Okay. So I got to pick that stuff up. Good to know. Can I break things? Yes, of course I can break things and get money out of them. That's a pretty nice looking combo move, actually. You'll notice that his attacks hit far wider than his sword can actually reach. That's really common in video games, to sort of cheat it a little bit. It usually feels okay. That was a little bit obvious there, but it definitely feels much better than barely missing an enemy, because you were just a little bit too far away. So I collect Ki Fire to unleash. Okay, I've already talked about that. So I'm gaining Skill Fire, Ki Fire. How do I know when my Ki attack is available? Well, those guys are even defending, like, the enemies in my, in Shadow of Aku. That's funny. Okay, so I can block. I can also dodge. Okay, so I'm hitting L and R together, and it's not doing anything, so I must not have the Ki attack unlocked. I'm just not sure how I'm going to know when it is. I'm collecting tons of things, and I'm not sure whatever all of it does. Okay, your gi is torn each time damage is taken. Restore health with all these things. Okay, cool. What's that? Some kind of bubbly thing on the ground. I'm sure there must be useful things in these containers. There is Skill Fire in these containers. Whoa! Okay, so I can lock on the closest enemy. like that. It doesn't feel like locking on is super necessary, honestly. Yeah, I'm doing just fine without locking on, so I think I'm not going to bother with that. There's a lot of games that do that, where they offer me the ability to lock on, but I don't usually feel like I need to. Like if they've made the character sort of auto lock to the nearest enemy or to the nearest enemy in front of them well enough, usually I don't feel like I need to do that. But maybe there's going to be certain enemies that it's important for, so let's hope I remember. Press that button when not in combat to focus the camera on the next objective. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Oh no. A stampede. Oh, this reminds me so much of the game I worked on. Because we didn't have a huge budget, and so we ended up having to do a lot of kind of simple solutions, like the way those characters were these enemies were kind of just popping up out of nowhere. You see, they've got an animation for popping out of the ground, but when they were far away, it looks like they didn't do the full animation, or maybe it's the effect on the ground that doesn't show up. Like, it feels like sometimes when they pop out of the ground there's an effect, and sometimes there's not. Definitely, it looks more natural when the effect plays. But yeah, an effect not showing up when you're far away from the camera is not that uncommon a problem. What is this? Do I hit it? I've got a thing now. So I've got a bunch of gold. I'm collecting skill fire. Can I... Where do I... Okay, there. Okay, skill. Can I unlock this? So this costs 1,000... Oh, yes, I've got just over 1,000 skill fire. So I've got good luck. Increase the probability of item drops. Okay, sure. I will now increase the probability of item drops. We're going to head out through this door. Oh, Mava asks, I wonder if Phil Lamar is voicing Jack here. Oh, yeah, I'd forgotten that Phil Lamar was the voice of Jack. He was really good. I don't know if they... I mean, I think he's still around. I would be really surprised if they didn't get him to voice Jack, at least in the cartoon. I've got no idea if he would have done the game. Hey there, buddy.
Dear chap.
So, thank you for your help earlier. Rothschild, what's happening? Well, I really don't know at all. I must go back and find Ashi. Did you see the portal anywhere? I have not seen it. Oh, but I did see the Scotsman in the swamp just ahead. The Scotsman is one of Jack's best-known enemies and also friends. He's kind of a rival character. We put him in Shadow of Aku, so it's good to see him here. The Scotsman is there? Perhaps he knows something more. And do watch out, old boy. He looked a bit strange. I got some hot water, which restores my health. Wait, does that mean I have the ability to use items when I need to? Oh, interesting. Okay, so we've got... Okay, we had letterbox bars pop in. Gold. Man, these tutorials are a little bit intrusive. Like, somebody put a lot of effort into making it so they could play video and stuff. But the way that... it's interesting. Deciding how you're going to spend your effort in the game, because I'm sure it took some work to make these little menus that have and make these little pop-ups that have their videos playing down there in the background. There's a lot of work that went into that. It would have taken way more to try to integrate, like creating a natural feeling tutorial where you're told about each thing step by step as you need it, in ways that don't really interrupt the gameplay and just make sort of the use of each new thing obvious in context. That takes a lot of work. Like when you look at State of Decay 2, we've actually done our tutorial sequence, or at least our sort of early game sequence twice now. It's still not working as well as I hoped it would. It takes a ton of work to sort of map out how a tutorial should play out in the beginning of the game without these big interruptions. And so you can sort of, a lot of the time you can sort of tell something about sort of the budget of a game and the resources they had available by the strategy they take with tutorials. A lot of the most expensive games have really natural feeling and elaborate processes for teaching you the game steadily over time. And when a game has a pop-up like this, usually it's like, well, we know the player needs to learn how to play the game, but we can't devote the time and effort to sort of design the entire game around that process. So I think we had pop-ups like that in the Samurai Jack game that I worked on too. Okay, yeah, so when we've got these letterbox bars on the screen, that means that the game is taking control of the camera. And yeah, okay, I can't even move Jack in and out. Like, he's basically in a side-scroller now. And that can be a real challenge. Like, I've tried to do this before. I think in the Over the Hedge game that I worked on many years ago, we tried to do some sequences that were 2D. The problem is that the proportions that you use for a 3D like over-the-shoulder third-person type game, the proportions of the characters that you would use there is characters like compared to the world is really different from the ones you would use in a 2D side-scroller. It's like when you're dealing with foreshortening, the fact that things deeper in the screen are smaller and things closer to the camera are bigger. That actually changes the way you have to size things and the speeds of things and how high you jump. All of that is affected by the player's perspective. And when you change the perspective partway through, it's really hard to make it natural. So like, it always sounds neat when you're planning to do it. It's often a nightmare once you actually get into it. This is actually working better than I would expect it to, given the difficulty. Okay, so I guess I'm supposed to jump off this cliff. I mean, that seems to be what it's telling me. I thought that water would be deeper. Oh! Some kind of Robodial. Robogator? Oh, challenge begin. What? What challenge? Defeat 30 robot. Okay. So they've got these challenges to defeat, and they unlock them when they become relevant. Instead of just having a menu full of challenges right at the outset, they just unlock them one at a time and make you aware of them one at a time. That's actually pretty clever. It's not the automatic thing that somebody would think of doing. Like, if you ask somebody, oh, let's put a challenge and achievement system in the game, usually the first thing you think of doing is having it work like Xbox achievements, where they're just all unlocked at the beginning. And you just steadily over the course of the game achieve them all. But unlocking them steadily over the time, it's going to make them much more digestible to a new player. And rather than having to wade through a million achievements they don't even know what they mean, just show them to them, one at a time. That's a good move. Whee! Oh man, it is amazing me how much this is reminding me of what we did 17 years ago. The way the projectiles work, the way they look. Of course, I've forgotten half the mechanics of that game, so maybe I'm comparing it erroneously. Oh, okay, cool. Ooh, Kaiken. Got a range. Okay, so pull RT to attack the closest enemy. Yes, let's equip it. So, one thing that is tough, so when you are tutorializing menus, a lot of the time, it's like, first you'll get a lot of feedback. The players don't even know where to look in the menus. And so you'll often, you'll implement a tutorial where you just take them to the menu. You make, like, look, here's the ranged weapons menu. Here's the button you need to push. You make it all really obvious. But then the problem is if you do too much work for the player, they don't learn how to do it themselves. Oh, they put him up there, so I would have to use ranged weapons on him. Oh, and then it explodes and makes the exit. So it looks like these are instant kill, at least against these guys. But I don't know how I get more of them, so I should probably stop wasting them. Oh, yikes. So I wonder, can I quick parry against these guys? Okay, yeah, so if guy's already hitting me, okay, good. I can get into the middle of a combo. That first guy who started hitting me earlier in this combat, I started trying to defend in the middle of the fight, and I felt like I couldn't do it. But yeah, it looks like it does actually work. And it looks like I'm picking up healing consumables as I go. Yeah. So I think, so when Jack took damage in the game that I worked on, 17 years ago, yikes, we represented it the same way. We had his gi get torn, and then as he heals up, the gi heals up, but we don't have him, actually like take damage, get bloodied, that sort of thing, and that came from, we met with the animators, and they gave us a lot of suggestions, and they pointed out the fact that that's how they show damage to Jack in the cartoon. Is they show him, they show his costume getting torn, and so I think it's just kind of interesting that I think a lot of the same people are probably still working on the animated show now that were working back then, and they probably gave the exact same feedback, or maybe they're just working from the same sort of rules bible. Looks like they probably gave the same suggestions and the same feedback to the team that made this game that they gave to us, over a decade ago, almost 2 decades ago. And so, like, they're working from the same set of rules. I find that very amusing. But that's, you have to kind of, every franchise has got little rules like that, little subtle things, like, you wouldn't necessarily think the way that you show damage to Jack is with damage to his costume. But somebody's got that written down somewhere. That is a rule somewhere for this franchise. And so anytime anyone makes a Samurai Jack video game, that's probably how they're going to show damage to Jack.
Got it.
So, every franchise out there somebody has written up a rules bible explaining how the franchise works and what the visual language of it is. And it's interesting to sort of see that in action. See, even with like that many years passing in between, they're working from the same set of rules. I don't think I know this guy.
Yo, Sensei.
Da Samurai? What are you doing here? Yo, Samurai Jack is in the house. We come a long way from that bar, baby. That bar must be a thing from the cartoon that I haven't seen. Your former foe is now the friend that got you what you need. Step into my shop and check it. I cannot do the dialect that he's doing, so I'm just going to sound really lame. So he's a shop. I can train with him in different weapon types to increase their damage and unlock new moves. Okay, so I've apparently got an inventory that includes things like hot water. Wait. Haggis. Nice. Must be from the Scotsman. Okay, so I have to hold A to buy, but I can't hold A to buy multiple. I have to hold A separately each time I buy a Kaiken. Can I buy more than 10? Can I buy infinite Kaiken? I can. Oh, it's out of stock. Okay, cool. But yeah, that's often that's a strategy that I really like. When you are going to have the player be spending a resource on something, a lot of the time you want to make sure that they get a chance to back out of it if they want to. That so you don't want them to accidentally waste a resource that's hard to get, because that's going to lead to frustration, maybe make them angry at you, and you don't want players to be mad at you. And so sometimes what you'll do is you'll do a little pop-up that says, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" But in a setting like a store where you might want to buy multiples of the same consumable, the last thing you want is like pop-ups popping up all the time. And so having it be a hold action is a nice backup move. Like, okay, I don't want to have a pop-up popping up and confirming all the time. So you have it be a hold action. Like, I think exiling a character in State of Decay 2, we made it be a hold action because it's just, and it's got to confirm stuff. You got to go talk to the person in person. But in general, I like to avoid pop-ups. Pop-ups just annoy everyone. Anytime a pop-up happens, somebody gets just a little bit angrier at you. And so I prefer to use the method where you just make the player hold the button. So if they push the button by accident, they don't actually, the game doesn't go through with the thing that they were considering doing because they didn't, complete the hold. And so they have to actually intentionally really mean it to get through it if it's a hold action. Okay, what's going on here? Scotsman, maybe? Yep.
Old friend? What are you doing here?
Waiting to tear you limb from limb, that's what I'm doing, you gill-hoot ninny.
Wait, my friend.
Nah, I'm done waiting, you wee laddie.
All right, so we also had a fight with the Scots. Ah, gosh, okay. We also had a fight with the Scotsmen in our game. I don't remember how we justified it, though. It's been a really long time. So how much damage do these knives actually do to him? Oh! Ah! As you'll notice, he's got a machine gun for a leg. I just want to point that out. This is, before Grindhouse was Samurai Jack. Alright, I'm not good at this. He's just kind of relentlessly attacking? I'm not sure what to do about that, exactly. Okay, he's down. Why is he down? Hitting him while he's down doesn't feel very honorable. Wait, okay, that's strange. He was relentless before, and now he's just down and just taking a bunch of damage. I'm not sure what the intent was there. I wonder if I was just stun-locking him a little bit.
Ooh. Oh, what happened? Laddie? Wee laddie! What in Sam Hoot Willie are you doing here? You're a sight for these great big sore eyes, huh? Yeah, come here, you.
It is good to see you too, my friend. But I am not sure what you are doing here. This cannot be the past. Something does not feel right.
Oh!
Okay, something happened there. I'm not sure what it was exactly, but I didn't use any items. Oh, like the hot water that I got, apparently. Yeah, I didn't use that at all. No continues, so that actually multiplied my score. Okay, so I guess I can probably go back and replay stages and get higher scores. Nice way to make something replayable. Hey there, Wolfo. Thanks for joining us, and congrats on getting a job. That's awesome. Hey there, Jesse Baker. What's this gonna be?
I do cannot understand this. Where am I?
Poor little samurai.
Aku!
You thought you could return to the past and destroy me? I have cast you down into a place with no future or past. A place between time.
Between time?
Here, things you know or think you know may not be what they seem. And I control your fate! And the only hope of escape is through your death!
That Aku character model is crazy. The way it animates.
Aku! Aku!
All right. Who's this guy gonna be? Nice. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I thought he was still fighting me, but I guess not. Alright, more of these guys, or... Hello, Rothschild? Watch out for the Celtic Demon's arm... Celtic Demon, huh? Why don't you try using a weapon with greater reach than the sword, like this? Shuriken. I wonder how Shuriken are going to be different from, Kanpai. Kanpai, was that what they were called? I don't... I'm not up on my Japanese weaponry. So it does seem like they had a very specific way of fighting these guys in mind, but it doesn't seem like it's actually necessary exactly. It could be that at a higher difficulty level it becomes more important. Ah, okay, here's a new challenge, I guess. Is that evil demon nearby? Aku's magic is coming from the mountains behind the castle. Then nothing will stop me from breaking through to the castle. Go in safety. I must find my daughters. Daughters? And take this, a bamboo staff. It only lasts a few fights? Okay, they're equipped from the pause menu, and I can switch between them. This is funny. Like when I was a brand new designer working on the original Samurai Jack, I had this, like, I wanted to do like a bunch of different fighting styles with different weapons, and ended up not doing that, you know, budget and stuff like that. But I had this fantasy of, like, once I learned so much from making the first game, I wanted to make another game. And one of the things I wanted to do with it was add additional alternate weapons. Okay, so sword there, fist there, bamboo there. Alright. So now I've got a bamboo staff. Let's see how that works. Whee! Skill fire. Skill fire is such a great name for a consumable. Or for a, what do I want to call these? A resource. It's a good name for a resource. Oh, is that the Scotsman's daughters?
What's next?
We are sisters. Hey, your hair looks different. We're counting on you. You have our full support, and take this. Thank you. I must go and fight. We will not lose. Oh, kaikin, that's what it was, not kanpai. What the heck is a kanpai? I'm sure that is something. It's probably a word I've heard before. I don't know what it means, though. Maybe it means rubber chicken or something in Japanese, and I've been saying something insane.
Good.
I'm not... What are these sparkles? I'm really not sure. Oh, there's something up here. Oh, what? I don't have ledge grab. How am I supposed to get up there? There's something up there, too. Oh, this thing. Got a bunch of things to open. More shuriken. And some skill fire. Okay, I've got a bunch of stuff here, but where can I go from here? Did I miss something? Oh, okay, this is where I'm going. Hello, line of enemies. Have you lined up to be destroyed? I wonder how long this bamboo staff is going to last. It doesn't feel like it's significantly more powerful than my sword. I'm also not sure, like, if it offers something distinctly better than the sword does. When you're adding weapons to a game, especially a game like this, you really want it to be absolutely clear why you want to use each weapon, in what situation you want to use each weapon. Okay, so... Alright, so that felt intentional, like I was supposed to backtrack there. Am I supposed to backtrack all the way? This feels wrong. This feels like something I shouldn't be doing. Oh, yes, the camera flipping around like that definitely feels like me running that direction was not the plan. So I'm just going to take that as a cue. It is really difficult to come up with a controlled camera that works going both directions in every scenario. I was kind of sad. Like I worked on several games that had sort of that, a scripted camera that followed the character through the level and that where you didn't manually control the camera. I tried to. I struggled a lot with sort of having the right set of tools to make a camera like that work and be really satisfying. And at the end of the last game I did that had that kind of camera, I sort of wrote up a design for the tool that I actually wanted, the approach to a scripted camera that I thought was going to be really amazing, and that was the last. That turned out to be the last game that the company I was working for ever made that had a scripted camera. And so basically, I wrote up this entire plan for how I wanted a new camera tool to work, and we never got to implement it. And that's your best designs are usually the ones that you never get to implement because they never see the light of day, so you never actually get to find out what's wrong with them. So there's a lot of high places that I couldn't get to in that room. And so it feels like maybe the solution to that room was to try to climb up to those high places. Okay, I can't really... Yeah, I'm moving on a spline here, so I can't get up on that platform. So this door next to the Scotsman feels like it might be my only way out, unless there's something missing. Oh, I just had to break it. Well, cool. All right. So it looks like I'm also able to just use my fists. What's that like? So it seems like it's not that different. Yeah, it's not that different from using a sword, honestly. Like, I don't think I'm doing less damage. I'm not having to think about the way I fight any differently. Wait, what's in this room? Okay, the bone is on the other side, so I bet that means eventually I'll come back through that way. Hello, Rothschild.
Do be careful, old boy.
That door appears to be protected by Aku's evil curse. There should be a statue of Aku somewhere near that controls the door. If you destroy the statue, the door is no longer cursed and will open. Take this. Here is some hot water. So it looks like Jack automatically runs if you move for a certain distance. Or a certain amount of time, maybe. And don't change anything. Then don't, like, attack or anything like that. Yikes.
Don't be so sure.
So, do the enemies give warning before they attack? Let's watch him for a second. Ah. Okay, yeah, he does. You can see him sort of coming at you with the glowing weapon. I was trying. Oh, that attack didn't have an anticipate on it. Not much of one, anyway. What I'm trying to do is figure out if there's something that will tell me when I need to dodge, or if I just need to sort of like dodge randomly a lot. I keep intuiting that I should be able to use dodge to close the gap between me and an enemy quicker, but it doesn't seem to actually. I mean, I think the dodge distance is short enough, and then there's a stop at the end. I think actually, I'm betting that if you sort of like added up the distance and the speed, you know, like sort of did some math, I'm betting that if I tried to dodge around, I might actually move around more slowly. Like, the moment that I dodge, I move quicker than I do just by running. But I think overall, multiple dodges actually probably move me slower than just running around. That's a conscious decision when people do that. It's like, basically, you know, there are so many games people remember, like, say, Ocarina of Time, where you could actually move more quickly through a level, like traverse the level more quickly by dodging and dodging and dodging and dodging, and you make the character look ridiculous when you do that. Make the game look kind of ridiculous when you do. Oh, who's this guy? Let's make sure we definitely kill him before he can do much. Anyway, if the sort of dominant strategy for getting around is doing something that makes your character look ridiculous, oh, there's a statue. Then players will do it, and they'll make the character look ridiculous, and they'll make the game feel ridiculous. And so you usually want to make it so that if there's, say, a dodge move that moves your character very, very quickly, you want there to be a reason for the player not to just constantly dodge around everywhere. Because if there's a reason for them to consciously dodge anywhere, even if it looks ridiculous, they will still do it. That's just how players work. Okay, yeah, so I think this is the door I went through originally. This was the one that I saw that was blocked, and this is the one that used to have Aku's face on it. That wasn't immediately clear to me when I walked into the room. It just felt like a different room. And so it might have been... I mean, I can see what basically, this is almost like the thing I was saying about sort of tutorializing the menus. If you just send somebody straight into a menu and do all the work for them, they will definitely do the right thing, but they might not understand what's going on. And similarly, there's a risk here. I do understand what happened here, but there's a risk here that they took by blocking off my old path and removing the door. They basically made this room kind of unfamiliar. And so I come in, and as far as I can tell, this might just be a different area. And if I don't recognize that, how this area is shaped, I might actually not learn the lesson about how the doors work. Now, that's a risk. I don't think that's an extreme risk. I mean, I do understand how that door worked, and I do understand the levels, so, you know, I'm more just sort of issuing a general warning that you have to be cautious how many, you know, problems you just solve for the player. I'm betting there were probably at some point during a playtest or whatever, people kept turning left and going through that same gate again, and so they probably dropped that portcullis in place to stop players from doing that. But anyway.
We're ready.
Jack, Dad wanted me to make sure you got this. A desert oasis jewel. It's for upgrading skills. Okay, well I haven't been opening this enough. Okay, so how do I use this? Can I use it? Well, let's see here. item drops or weapon carrying capacity. So granting you access to skills where, like, I haven't exhausted my character carrying capacity yet. I'm not sure whether I should value that or not. And that's kind of a tough consideration when you're putting together a skill system. Like, if the player has access to a skill, but they don't necessarily yet have a reason to want it, it can be kind of a little bit demotivating. So item drops, ranged weapon carrying capacity. Okay, so that, I definitely do understand why I would want that. And what's this? Skill embers. Oh, increase the amount of skill fire. So a skill that gives you more, a skill that costs skill fire, that gives you more skill fire, you definitely want to grab something like that immediately. Because it makes all the remaining skill fire you get much more, you know, it comes in greater quantities. Ah, who's this guy? Oh, gosh. Okay, well, that was a surprise. Hello. Take that. Nope. So yeah, I'm playing a normal difficulty. It does feel like they're not really making me avoid attacks all that much. I do wonder what this would be like at the higher difficulty levels. Ah! Because it seems like I can do enough damage with each hit, even without a weapon equipped, that, you know, individual enemies aren't much of a challenge. It's more the question of just like, can I avoid the attacks from the guys I'm not engaging right now? My character moves slowly enough and has enough trouble covering ground that one of the experiences I have in combat is not being able to quite reach the enemy I want to engage with, which can be a frustrating thing. We had a similar problem in State of Decay 2 when we first released heavy weapons. They didn't originally. You didn't move forward towards an enemy when you swung one, and so it was very common for a player to fall short of hitting an enemy and get very frustrating. So even though the animation, if you watch very carefully when you're fighting with heavy weapons in State of Decay 2, the animation doesn't include any foot shovels, so you can actually see your character's feet sliding across the ground now when they swing a heavy weapon. It's because they were originally animated to plant your feet and just swing. But it was too frustrating, and so in a later update after the Juggernaut edition came out, we added some sliding on the character, and eventually at some point, you know, we probably should go back and animate it, you know, reanimate it to at least adjust the animation. Oh, okay. Interesting. I've got an aimable weapon. Yeah, at some point we should probably readjust the animation so that the feet act the way they should. Holy crap. Okay, there's a lot of... Alright, so I'm going to equip both of those things. It kind of forced me, again, to equip the thing I needed. Alright, so... Interesting. So it looks like... So I assume there's going to be a reason why I need to use this bow. Or maybe not? So I've got a bow. Did I need a bow? Oh, this guy. Shop guy. Okay, well, since I just got a bow, let's buy some arrows. Oh, wait, can I... Ah, here we go. I can buy more at once. That is very helpful. I didn't realize that was a thing. Kaiken. I'm going to remember the name of this weapon. Okay. Interesting. So its Ki is high. So does that mean that it's... Oh, and it closes the distance on gun-wielding enemies quickly. Okay, so I advance more when I'm using the bamboo staff. That's why I want to use it. I'm glad they explained that. I can throw sickles? Yes. Let's buy all the sickles. And let's buy all the shuriken too. Let's just... Honestly, like, ranged weapons are so powerful in this game. I definitely want them. Increase damage to enemies? Yes. Reduce enemy damage from enemies. Okay, so... I just got some stuff. Can I only equip one of these at a time? Ah, okay. So damage to enemies. I tend to like being a glass cannon, so let's do that. So Wolfo asks, what is this game and can I get it on the Xbox? I'm actually not sure what platforms this game came out on. It's called Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, I think. So you can look it up and find out. I'm playing it. It came out on Apple Arcade, and that's why I have it. So you can definitely get it there. I don't know where else you can get it.
What's next?
Jack, I saw a large shadowy figure head to the top of the mountain. That might be Aku. I have to go. Be careful, Jack, and please take this. A haggis. Obviously a haggis. Okay. So, whoa, what's down there? A little skull thing. Huh. Is this the way I need to go? There's some robots. Oh, what's this? Probably gold. Whoa, that guy took a lot from me without his health bar going down very much. Did I miss a guy over here? Yes, I did. So I just activated an item that gave me extra damage, but then I think these might be leveled up versions of the cockroach robots, and so I'm not really seeing the benefit. Oh no, they're not leveled, they're just defending. Okay, got it. One thing that's interesting is that sometimes an enemy's only attack reaction animation is standing, and so they'll fall down on the ground, and then you'll hit them again, and they'll immediately be standing again. Oh yeah, got the challenge. Sure are a lot of these guys. Wait, which way did it come from? Up here? I think it came from up there. So let's go this way. Gold. Samurais love gold. Ah, who are these guys? Scary dudes is what they are. Alright. Ah. Okay, I was trying to figure out how to use the bow. That was not how to use it. Oh, these are bounty hunters. This seems familiar. Okay, so I think the bow... You can quick fire the bow, and it seems like it doesn't do very much damage, but if you aim and fire it like a sniper, then I think it does more. Oh, whoa, whoa, climbing mechanic! And, oh man, I think he's got the Enter the Matrix animation. Awesome. You know, people probably don't appreciate enough the work that goes into making climbing animations look guns. What? I can have guns? What? I didn't think that was even allowed in this franchise. Okay, well, let's definitely equip this gun. Can I still aim? No, I can't aim like with the bow. Anyway, yeah. A lot of like generations of technology went into, you know, a lot of the oh, he's defending. Okay, a lot of the, you know, sort of modern climbing systems in games. Really, what this game is doing is sort of the classic old school method where you just got a flat surface and the character does a stock animation and that's it. And you know what? You don't actually need much more than that in a game like this. Okay, so I can climb up here. It's kind of slow, though. Oh, look, it's the Scotsman. Hey there, buddy.
Better be watching out, lad.
Oh, what am I still doing here? Okay. What specific skills, though? He just gave me a jewel. Which skills need it? Okay, so it looks like I might have bought all the skills that I can get with just plain old skill fire. It says I need Bushido spirit points. So now I'm collecting a bunch of skill fire, but if I'm not getting enough Bushido points, I can't say that word right for some reason. If I'm not getting enough Bushido points, then I can't do much. It's interesting. So I wonder if some of the skill fire I get is going to end up being just not useful anymore. Okay, why am I... Oh, I thought it was a cutscene, but it's actually just a controlled camera sequence. Oh, so it was just trying to show me that some new enemies were popping up? Oh. Is he out of range? There we go. So can I... Okay, I thought maybe I could jump down this slope, but I think maybe I can't. Where else can I go? Okay, can I go down this way? Oh, well, what's this? Whoa. I gotta sneeze, hold on. No. Am I gonna sneeze? I don't know. Maybe not. Hey, greetings, Scar. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I've gotten down here. And now I've gotten here. Am I supposed to be here? Whoa. Maybe that's actually... Maybe that's actually what those collectibles were for, was to show me I could go down that way. It's almost like a puzzle. Like I had to sort of think outside the box to figure out where to go next. That can be a frustrating puzzle, though, sometimes. A frustrating type of puzzle. Because historically, the paths have always been, very wide and obvious, and I almost felt like I was going to a place I shouldn't by going down that way. And especially because the that controlled camera sequence kept me from going down the most friendly path. Like going down that ramp felt like the right way to get down into this area. And so the fact that the ramp wasn't allowed made me assume that I just plain wasn't allowed to go down there. Sometimes you can sort of, like when you're designing a level, sometimes you can sort of, like accidentally communicate something you didn't intend to communicate. Okay, so it looks like I'm not allowed to break the statue until the combat's over? There's a lot of enemies. But that's what Samurai Jack does. He pulls out a revolver and he shoots everyone. He's basically Indiana Jones. There we go. Okay, so now I'm betting I can break this. Yes. I think that green fog wall was meant to maybe indicate that I shouldn't go over to that statue yet? I don't know. Oh, Bushido Spirit. Okay, so that is the resource that was blocking me from getting these skills. I don't have nearly enough yet, though. Can I shoot that thing? I'm all out of stuff now. Out of ammunition, so I guess not. Probably another way in there that I'm not smart enough to figure out. Okay, so can I go back up this way? I can. And then as soon as I get up here, I'm in that controlled camera and I can't go back down. Oh, that is fascinating. Okay, so I defeated that challenge, but... And I destroyed an Aku statue. I don't remember where there was an Aku door, though. So that's kind of rough. Was one up here? Oh, hey, did I open this? Oh, more Bushido Spirit. Not enough still. Can I... Okay, I haven't been down here yet. Am I backtracking like crazy right now? Oh. That thing was on the edge of that cliff. And if I jumped down in the right spot, I could have gotten it. I'm a little lost at this point. I'm really not sure where I'm supposed to go. But, oh, they... Okay. I forgot, yeah, they gave me the ability to see my next objective, so I am going the wrong way. But I see this weird dog down here, so I should talk to him. Arrows and bullets are effective against beetle drones. I see. Arrows and bullets? Got it. Yeah, okay, so there's certain skills that are going to need these jewels I'm collecting. I'm not sure which ones. So was that... Okay, so I came down there. It's interesting. So they've attached hints to these conversations that also grant me sort of secret collectibles. So my quest for collectibles also gives me hints about how to play. It's interesting that they sort of lock those two together. Okay, so this button I keep pressing, okay, it doesn't work when there's a controlled camera. It is pointing me roughly this direction, though, so... Oh, wait a minute. Did I know... Oh, I didn't notice this climbing wall before. There we go. Mava says that he's now Samurai Jack Wick with the revolver. Oh, man. That takes... Oh, it's so slow. Okay. Maybe I should be jumping. Okay, I think I've used all of my revolver ammo, so let's... Where's my... Oh, ranged weapons. Oh, I've got tons of these. Oh, let's use a Reaper. I haven't used those yet. I can't see the enemies. Did you get hit twice by that? Okay, I'm still in side-scroller mode. Hey, guys. I like that they've sort of made this little like teleporting animation, so these guys just sort of like there's always they can just spawn in as many as they want, and there's just always some kind of visual excuse for it. It's the little things. I remember trying to solve problems like that, like in the Samurai Jack game I worked on. Like we had zombies, for instance, and they would pop out of the ground. It had a little dirt flying effect, and they would just pop out of the ground every time they needed to show up. It is funny to me how similar to my first game this is. I kind of expected it to be dramatically different because so much time has passed and like the industry is so different now, but this game is actually remarkably familiar. I think let's you grab something I've got a lot more of. Yeah, so it said that the beetles were particularly vulnerable to ranged weapons, and I have collected so many of them. So when people talk about balancing a game, like balancing the economy of a game, usually when we think about balancing economies, you think of like games that have a lot of currency, or like collecting a ton of loot that you might be able to sell to a merchant, like say like an MMO, like World of Warcraft. That's where you think of balancing economies. But economy balance is also important to games like this, where I've collected so much gold through just the normal course of combat that I've been able to spend it on so many ranged weapons over the natural course of combat that it's rendered a lot of the combat trivial. Because I can just throw ranged weapons at everybody. Now this fight... Ow! Whoops, I meant to dodge, but I hit the wrong button. Sometimes I have the excuse that, I'm really used to a different game, like State of Decay 2, for instance, when I forget how to dodge. But not the case here. This uses the same button as, yikes, okay, as State of Decay 2, and I'm still screwing it up. So let's consume some water. Definitely need to get better at dodging when these guys attack. Oh, dang. I thought I hit the button, but maybe I was... Maybe what I need to be doing is this. Nope. So this game doesn't have really strong, like, dodge canceling. Ah, yikes. Like, if I'm in the middle of doing something else, dodging can be tough. It's interesting how, like, different the level of difficulty is between these guys and their minions. Like, I got that hint that ranged weapons were the best against the beetles. And they have made the other beetles trivial. But I used them against these guys, and they had almost no effect. And actually, it's my magic sword that I need to use against them. So the game is sending me some interestingly mixed messages about this. Oh, wow. They actually have a special kill animation for that guy. Ooh. I've got a special weapon that I just unlocked from... Oh, I'm totally going to kill this guy with his friend's arm. But yeah, so the rules that I used for fighting the smaller beetles didn't apply with the larger beetles, which is interesting. What? Is this boss about to get way more interesting? Okay, I'm facing the wrong direction. Hi. Ah! Okay, so this thing is... it's really powerful. It's even able to stun a boss. Okay, so am I not able to defend with it? Or is this guy's... Like, is it the weapon that's making me have trouble defending? Or is it that this guy is just hard to defend against? It's hard to be sure because the weapon's so unfamiliar. Oh, just like the Scotsman, he falls down sometimes. And then I can just annihilate him. Kinda surprised. Yeah, I took a lot of damage, though. Oh, it was a good guy. What? It was good? And I hacked it in half? The only thing that was making that beetle bad was the necklace?
Aku! I will escape from this place and return to the past to destroy you once and for all.
I should increase the volume on that. Okay, we've been through a couple of levels. I think this is probably a good time to stop. We've been playing this for, I think, over an hour. So, this has been absolutely fascinating. It's been, like I said, it's been 16, 17 years since I worked on the original Samurai Jack video game. And it's so fun to kind of come back to this and see, in some ways how different it is, but also in other ways how similar it is to the work that I did way back at the beginning of my career. So this has been a fun thing to go through. So thanks for accompanying me on this journey. Let me take down the volume a little bit. I've been having a problem lately with accidentally forgetting to take the volume down and having music drown me out. Dojan Cat Memes, yes, you did arrive at the end of this game, but you're not at the end of the stream. So let's go to the end screen and put some stuff up and subscribe. But yeah, we're definitely going to be playing some more games tonight. So that was Samurai Jack, and we'll go do something else.